Now that we've got our lighting optimized, we want to just finish this out. We want to click next to go to the final step of the training wizard. The final step is our margin adjustment, and again this is an important step because any 100% inspection system has a fixed field of view. Our cameras don't zoom in, they're not on a traverse. It's not like a web viewing system. These cameras have a fixed field of view which is built around whatever is your maximum web width. And obviously as a printer you're not going to run the same web width all the time. And what you need to be able to do is tell the inspection system where to look and where to inspect within its field of view, because you don't want to worry about trim edges. You don't want to know if there's a defect out there because it's getting trimmed out. So in order to avoid those situations, we have got these margins which you can see as this purple line here on the left hand side of the image. So that's its default position, which is roughly the position of the average web width. So what we're trying to do is put the margin in a position where it requires the minimum amount of movement job to job. So to make the movement, right now what we've got is the left margin selected, and then what we want to do is move it to the left or to the right. So in this case we want to move it to the right. So we hold down our right move button, and what you'll see is depending on how far the margin needs to move, it does accelerate. So for small movements it will be very precise. For a large movement, if you've got to move it maybe 4 or 5 inches, it will accelerate as you keep your finger on the button, so it will get there quicker. Okay, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to line this margin up pretty close to where the finished product begins, so that we can ignore everything that happens out here on this trim edge, but obviously still inspect all of the finished product. Once we've the left margin set up, we want to switch over to the right margin, and again you'll see in this situation what has happened is the web has been set up on press, right adjusted, so it's actually all the way over to the right hand side of the system's field of view, so the default margin position has to in this case get pushed out. So again we're going to move to the right, and again you'll see that the margin moves out, and once we're happy we're at the edge of the finished product, we've now set up our margin positions. And just to show that, if I click on the main view screen and step back a bit, you will now see that our 2 margin positions define the width of the inspectable area. At this point, we're now ready to begin inspection. We hit the apply button, and it's a kind of a double start here. So what happens is you actually get a pop-up which says, would you actually like to begin inspection? And the reason it asks that is, even though the system has been set up, there may be some final tweaks that are actually happening on press. Like if it's a roll-to-roll application, normally what will happen is there will be a reel change to signify the beginning of production, so that we actually start to clean on the first production roll. So what the operator would do in this situation is he will wait, he'll make his reel change so that he started his first production roll, and then he will hit the OK button. At this point, the inspection system will start its training, and you'll see the training progress starting here. So we're at 16%, 33%, and what it's doing at this point is actually grabbing an image of the production as it's happening, because this is what the operator is telling the system is good product. We want to grab an image of that, which we will save as our golden template, and from this point on, for the rest of the job, from reel to reel, we will inspect all of the current product against that saved golden template. At this point, the inspection system shows you this blank screen because right now we're not detecting any defects. There has been no change to the production because, again, we're simulating production with a static or a single printed reference, so that's going round continuously, and obviously it's going to be the same every time. To simulate defects, we're going to use some finely ground pepper. So I'll just take out a pinch and I'll just drop it on the web, and the system will detect the defect.